Welcome to another Explainer. Today we are diving into what is arguably history's greatest intellectual heist, and honestly, the ultimate overdue book tragedy. We're stepping way back in time to explore the lost Library of Alexandria. It's a place of absolute legend, incredible wonder, and, well, ultimate sorrow. So buckle up because we are about to uncover exactly how the greatest collection of human knowledge ever assembled just vanished. Just imagine this for a second. Picture a single physical place that holds literally all the knowledge of the ancient world. We're talking maps of long-forgotten empires, totally cutting-edge mathematics, profound philosophy, and just groundbreaking scientific discoveries. Basically, the greatest ideas ever put to paper, all under one roof. Now, imagine every single bit of it disappearing forever. Just destroyed. Gone without a single trace left behind. Wild, right?
So the crucial point is the stakes of this lost knowledge are truly massive. A lot of historians actually believe that if this incredible place had somehow survived, we wouldn't have spent the entire Middle Ages having to relearn basic mechanics and astronomy. Human civilization could literally be centuries ahead of where we are today. The erasure of those texts fundamentally shaped our modern world, mostly by dramatically delaying our technological and societal progress.
To really grasp the weight of this loss, we have to go back over 2,300 years. Right after the death of Alexander the Great, the Ptolemaic dynasty of Egypt, specifically this guy, Ptolemy I Soter, birthed a wildly ambitious dream. They didn't just want to build a thriving city in Alexandria. No, they wanted to collect every single book in the world. Literally, every piece of knowledge, every important idea, no matter where it came from. And this brilliantly illustrates the lengths they went to. To achieve this massive goal, officials used a ruthless, but you gotta admit, completely genius method. It was basically ancient, state-sponsored piracy. When ships arrived at the harbor, guards would actively board and search them. If they found a manuscript, it was confiscated on the spot and copied. The library kept the original and then handed the newly made copy back to the very bewildered owner. Honestly, as far as book acquisition strategies go, it was incredibly effective. Because of this super aggressive strategy, knowledge just poured into Alexandria from every single corner of the known world. We're talking Greece, Persia, India, Egypt, Mesopotamia. The library became something humanity had never, ever seen before. Some historians estimate these relentless efforts filled the halls with up to 500,000 individual scrolls. And they eventually organized all of this with a massive, groundbreaking cataloging system known as the Pinaques. But the library wasn't just some giant storage unit for old scrolls. It was a vibrant, living think tank. The absolute greatest minds on Earth gathered here. You had pioneers like Euclid literally inventing modern geometry, and early doctors making massive, massive leaps in understanding human anatomy. Ideas were constantly being exchanged, fierce debates took place in the halls, and for centuries, Alexandria was, without a doubt, the undisputed intellectual capital of the world. To give you a clear idea of just how advanced these folks were, consider Aristophanes. While working at the library, he calculated the circumference of the Earth with absolutely startling accuracy, and he did it using nothing more than the angle of shadows and some geometry. I mean, at a time when others were struggling with foundational knowledge, Alexandria was literally mapping the cosmos. It became the ultimate symbol of human curiosity. But then, something happened. Humanity's greatest treasure just vanished. And the biggest question we face today is simply, how? How does a sprawling, monumental complex containing hundreds of thousands of scrolls just disappear off the face of the Earth? Well, the frustrating truth is, there isn't a single clear historical record of its destruction. Instead, we are left with a massive historical mystery and a bunch of competing theories. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how history leaves us with this fascinating, heavily debated mystery, fundamentally split into two main camps. On one side, you have a sudden dramatic inferno caused by Julius Caesar. Juxtaposed against that is a theory of a slow, agonizing decline over several centuries. As we look at the historical record, it's totally crucial to impartially explore both sides of this divide. So, let's look at the fire. In 48 BCE, Julius Caesar found himself besieged in Alexandria. To block an enemy fleet, he ordered the ships in the harbor to be set on fire. Makes sense militarily, right? But the wind carried those flames, and the fire spread violently into the city itself, possibly torching massive storehouses full of scrolls. It's a dramatic story for sure, yet it's important to note that many historians heavily doubt this single accidental fire wiped out the entire institution all at once. Okay, let's dive into this alternative and honestly, perhaps more tragic theory. This is the idea that the library didn't die in one dramatic Hollywood inferno, but instead suffered a slow death by 1,000 cuts. Think about it. Through centuries of shifting empires, severe budget cuts, political instability, and rising religious dogmas, the institution simply withered. Scholars packed up and left, scrolls decayed into dust, and the knowledge quietly faded away into obscurity. Whether it was by fire or just sheer neglect, the grand institution eventually fell. But the true tragedy here isn't the loss of a physical stone building. It's the devastating reality of the ideas that were erased from existence forever. The greatest mystery isn't necessarily how it vanished, but exactly what completely disappeared right alongside it. We are talking about the permanent erasure of literally world-changing ideas. Just imagine it, lost plays of ancient Greek masters that we will never get to perform, blueprints for early machinery that were centuries ahead of their time, and incredibly detailed maps of forgotten civilizations. It really builds this profound sense of sorrow for the unread histories and the monumental leaps in science that just simply slipped right through our fingers. Because of all this, the destruction of the library has become an incredibly powerful symbol for us today. It reminds us that preserving knowledge is, without a doubt, one of humanity's most important responsibilities. Look, civilizations rise and fall, that's just history. Books can vanish, ideas can disappear. The fragility of our collective intellect is a stark warning that entire chapters of the human story can be lost forever if we aren't extremely careful guardians of that knowledge. Today, the library exists only in our memory. Its shelves are empty, its scrolls have totally vanished, but its legacy, that absolutely survives. More than 2,000 years later, we are still wondering what secrets were hidden inside those walls, which leaves us with one incredible, super provocative question. What might humanity have actually become if the library had survived? Perhaps we'll never know. Thanks so much for joining me on today's Explainer. Keep questioning and keep learning.